A couple of weeks ago, I did a dedicated review of the new IT Cosmetics Do It All Sheer Tint Balm. And I got quite a few questions on how this compares to the new Laura Mercier Blur Balm. So I picked up the Laura Mercier, and today we are going to compare them side by side. And I will also talk a little bit about how these two compare to the Victoria Jackson No Makeup Makeup Balm. So today, it's the battle of the balms. And you will notice I have a different filming setup. I have some new neighbors moving in next door, and it is a little noisy out there, much quieter in the bedroom, and we get to hang out with Bosley. First, a little info, and then we'll get these on my face. Now, the IT is $34 for 12 grams or $2.83 per gram. The Laura Mercier is $44, and even though the packaging looks bigger, this only has 5 grams, making it $8.80 per gram. Definitely much more on the pricey side. Now, both of these are available both at Sephora, which is having their spring VIB sale, but Ulta is also having these 20% off right now. So depending on your tier, you know, if you're only 10 or 15% at Sephora, definitely go with Ulta. No need to pay full price. Anyway, these are both fragrance-free, alcohol-free, do not contain any SPF. The IT Cosmetics is cruelty-free. The Laura Mercier is not. Both have skin-loving ingredients, including hydrators and peptides. But interestingly enough, the second ingredient on the Laura Mercier is silica, which is a mattifying, oil-absorbing ingredient, which makes sense since this is more of a matte formula. As far as the claims, the IT claims sheer buildable coverage for a moisturized, plumped, hydrated glow. Now, the IT does not have any wear time claims, but over the past couple of weeks, I have found this to wear very, very well, basically for the 8 hours that I expect from an everyday skin tint. Laura Mercier, on the other hand, says this is a lightweight, skin-perfecting balm-to-powder formula that blurs pores, smooths texture, and sets to a breathable, soft-focus matte. And Laura Mercier does say that this is long-lasting up to 12 hours. So even though these sound fairly different, they both claim that their skincare ingredients will improve skin over time, and they provide natural-looking, no-makeup makeup. Let's get these on my 66-year-old very dry skin and see what we think. Now, the IT Cosmetics comes in 16 shades, and I am in the shade 210 Light Neutral. I will swatch them side by side in just a moment. It says you can apply it with brush or fingers. I really do prefer a brush pretty much for all of my complexion products, and today I will be trying both of them on with my BK Beauty, what is this, 115 foundation brush. I have two, so I won't be cross-contaminating. Anyway, I just put my brush in. I'll put the IT on this side. And I love how the brush fits perfectly in here. And there it is. Oh my gosh, this feels so moisturizing going on the skin. It has this cooling feeling. It feels almost wet. It really does feel more like skincare than makeup. Now, they do say this is sheer to light medium coverage, and I hope you can see it is calming down my redness, and it really does practically blend itself. What's Bosley doing? He's okay. You can build it up to a very light medium. And it really is effortless, and it really does feel weightless. Well, it feels moisturizing, but very lightweight, so not necessarily weightless. And it never streaks. I hope that you can see it did provide very light coverage. It toned down my redness really, really nicely. And I really do love the soft, radiant glow it gives the skin. Now, It does take a couple of minutes or a few minutes to sort of dry down. Right now it's just ever so slightly tacky, but once it dries down, it leaves sort of a moisturized feeling for the skin, not velvety to the touch, but not tacky either. And even right now, my hair does not stick to it at all. Now, you can also use this as a concealer. I did put a little bit of my peach corrector in my deep dark inner corner, and I'm going to use my RèPHR LC01 concealer brush. Love the angle and the sort of dense but soft brush. And this does work really nicely under the eyes as a concealer. Definitely not full coverage, but it gives just enough coverage to, you know, brighten up the darkness under my eyes. Now, I have not felt the need to powder this, but if I use it as a concealer, I do lightly powder just under my eyes with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Finishing Powder and my BK Beauty, what is this, 112. I love to use this to set under my eyes because it just fits so perfectly. My gosh, I'm definitely going to pick up another one of these. I don't know if Ulta has this on sale. If Ulta has it on sale, I'll buy it at Ulta. Otherwise, I'll do Sephora. You know, Ulta's point system is so much better than Sephora's. So generally speaking, I personally, if a product is available at both Ulta and Sephora, depending on the sales, I usually try to buy from Ulta. Anyway, I'm just lightly setting that concealer under my eyes. And there is the it. Now let's get the Laura Mercier on the other side. And here I'll show you sort of the difference in texture. So the it is sort of a balmy serum. It feels very serum-y. And like I said, it literally melts into the skin. Feels very moisturizing. Whereas the Laura Mercier, it's balmy, but it doesn't have that sort of ceramic texture. And there is the Laura Mercier. This is shade 2 Neutral. I think it's the third from the lightest. And there is the Laura Mercier. I hope you can see this is more serum-y, and this is, I don't know, it's definitely balm to powder. It dries down immediately. So let's get this on the other side. Let me get the right brush here that doesn't have any product on it. So definitely very different texture. And again, it says to swirl your brush in the product. There it is. And let's see if we can see it on my skin. I don't know, can you even see that? So it really feels like, I'm putting nothing on my skin. I really can't feel the product, and I almost can't see the product. However, I did notice, I have been playing with this for a couple of days, it immediately blurs my pores. And I don't have particularly large pores. Now, IT Cosmetics does not accentuate my pores by any means, but this really does have an immediate blurring effect. So if you have pores that you're trying to blur, this might be the product for you. Again, sheer to very light medium coverage if you build it up. But you can see it did tone down my redness. Oh, Bosley's cleaning himself. I hope that's not too noisy. So I hope that you can see this is definitely more radiant. And this is definitely, I would say it's a soft matte. It's not a flat matte, but it is definitely not a glowy product either. So I guess it sort of depends what you're looking for. Now let's see how the Laura Mercier works as a concealer. I'm a little hesitant because I definitely don't love a matte finish under my eyes. But I think it has definitely. There is the Laura Mercier as a concealer compared to the IT Cosmetics. Okay, so my final thoughts on these two. Now, the Laura Mercier dries down immediately to a velvety touch. It does have pore blurring for sure, and it is definitely a soft focus matte. Not necessarily a flat matte, but it's definitely matte. The IT Cosmetics definitely feels more hydrating, and it is definitely more glowy. I hope you can see the difference in radiance on my face. Now, I do have lights on me, so this might look a little glowier on camera than it does in person. Now, even though it does not have any wear time claims and the Laura Mercier does claim up to 12 hours, I have found I've gotten the at least 8 hours of wear time out of both of these products that I expect from any of my everyday skin tints. You know, neither one of them accentuate lines or wrinkles, and it doesn't accentuate dry patches, even though it is a matte formula and it's not that hydrating. And neither one of these do anything weird. They don't get patchy as the day wears on. They sort of wear gracefully. So, like I said, it sort of depends on what you're looking for. Now, they both say they're good for all skin types. I do think the oily skin gals might want to powder the IT Cosmetics side, and dry skin gals might want to use a little extra moisturizer under the Laura Mercier. Interestingly enough, Laura Mercier claims this can also be used as a primer, which totally makes sense since it is truly a very blurring product. I do want to make one more quick comparison with Victoria Jackson's NoMakeup Makeup Balm that I reviewed last year. I will link that video in the description box below if you would like to see this in action. Anyway, this one is $55. However, this contains 8.3 grams, making it $6.26 a gram, so definitely less than the Laura Mercier. This one comes in 13 shades, and I am in the shade light medium. It has, I'm going to show you the difference in texture. So this is definitely balmier than the Laura Mercier. I'll show you the Laura Mercier. I think you can see the texture difference on my fingers. This is the NoMakeup Makeup, balmier than the Laura Mercier. However, just slightly less balmy than the IT Cosmetics. So here we have Victoria Jackson, NoMakeup Makeup, Laura Mercier, IT Cosmetics, and here they are swatched. Now, the NoMakeup Makeup is a lovely product. This has light to solid medium coverage, so it is more pigmented and it does provide more coverage if you build it up. However, this is just a little bit trickier to apply and blend than the IT or the Laura Mercier. You have to pick it up with a brush and buff it on your skin in very, very light layers. If you over apply this, it can look a little bit cakey. Victoria Jackson has a really great video on her website on exactly how to apply this. As far as the finish of this, it's sort of in between the Laura Mercier. It's a little bit more radiant than the Laura Mercier, but not quite as glowy as the IT Cosmetics. It really is a lovely product. They're all lovely products. However, my personal favorite is definitely the IT Cosmetics. I just love how effortless it is, how beautifully moisturizing it feels on my skin, and I really do love the radiance. Let's finish up with blush and lipstick. I did pick up the new IT Cosmetics Sun Blush Balm. This comes in 6 shades, I believe, and I picked up shade 10, which is called Sunlit. And again, it has that really beautiful balmy formula, and I do want to compare this to a couple of other blushes that I have. So there is IT Cosmetics Blush Balm, and let's compare it to Merit Blush Balm, which you know is one of my favorites. So there is the Merit and there is the It. Now the It is more serum-y and it is a little bit more opaque. And as you can see, Merit is a very sheer balm. And let's compare it to one of Victoria Jackson's blushes. Now Victoria Jackson's blushes come in 3 shades, and this is in the shade pink. I think it comes in pink, peach, and plum. And I do have a video where I reviewed all of them, so I will list that in the description box below. And again, we have that beautiful serum-y formula. And there is Victoria Jackson. So It Cosmetics, Merit Blush Balm, and Victoria Jackson. I do think Victoria Jackson is the most pigmented. Now I'm not going to apply all 3 of these on my face. I have shown Merit many times and I have also shown Victoria Jackson. So let's just put a little bit of the It Cosmetics on and let's get a little bit of blush going. Now this can be applied with fingers or a brush. And I think it's really pretty. It has a nice soft radiance, which I really enjoy. And there is the It Cosmetics compared to no blush. It has that same serum-y feeling as the Skin Tint. Really, really lovely. And also right now on sale at Ulta, 20% off. Lipstick. Keeping, in line with what we're talking about today, Victoria Jackson did come out with some new lipsticks a few months ago. They come in 3 shade families, pink, peach, and plum. 6 shades, and in each shade she has a light shade and a deeper shade. So I have the pink, and let me put my glasses on so I can see which one is which. I will swatch these for you. Here is the packaging, and it has that magnetic closure, which I absolutely love. This is pink 1. This is the lighter of the 2 shades. Oh my gosh. I'm running out of room here. So that is the lighter pink on the Victoria Jackson lipstick. And I'm going to put pink 2 on. This is the slightly deeper shade. That is pink 2, Victoria Jackson. And there it is. It's just a little bit more of a brownie rose. Pink 1, pink 2. And let's get this on the lips. Really smooth going on. All right. And here is the final look. Now I do want to note that I do have a 15% discount code to Victoria Jackson in the description box of all of my videos. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. And if you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up, maybe even a hype. That really helps support my channel, which I very, very much appreciate. And please share your thoughts below if you've tried any of these products so we can all learn from each other. And with that, have yourself a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Oh my gosh, I just reviewed my footage. I thought, why did I not try on pink 1? So that's what I'm going to do right now. So this video is not over quite yet. So here is pink 1. Let's see how this one looks. A little lighter and brighter. I don't know. I think they're both pretty. Which one do you prefer?